Best of r/entitled parents episode 198. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. Homophobic entitled mom gets mad at me for being pansexual. On mobile. So sorry for bad grammar. Me equals me mom equals M entitled mom equals EM manager. MA. We have a store next to our neighborhood that has a pride area, near the exit. Me and M walk in and shop around and go to the pride area to look. EM looks at me as I hold up a pansexual flag and show it to my mom. EM, you know being gay is a sin. Me, okay. EM, I demand you to stop looking at that stuff. It's making me uncomfortable. M, then look away. EM, no, I won't leave until you stop. I will speak to the manager. Me, why won't you leave? I can do whatever I want. It's my choice. If you don't like them, leave. EM, I always get what I want. M, well you aren't today. EM, how rude. As her mother you should know better and make her be straight. M, maybe I'm not doing that because I'm a good mother. EM, are you calling me a bad mother? I will be speaking to the manager about this. EM scoffs and walks away. M, don't mind people like her, we can keep looking. Me, okay. About 3 minutes later EM walks towards us with the MA walking behind her with a face like, I don't have time for this. EM, here they are. They won't stop looking at the pride stuff. I demand you kick them out. MA, the pride stuff is there for a reason. We aren't going to take it down, so don't get your hopes up. EM, ugh. I will never shop here again. She walks away. MA, I'm sorry about that. I hope you find what you are looking for and have a great day. Me, it's fine. It happens sometimes. The MA walks away and we buy what we got and left. Sorry if it's short. Thank you. Next. Most disgusting EP on the bus. I was doing a little shopping and went to head home with the bus after. When I got on, it was just me and the driver, completely empty. 2 stops later, EK and EP come in after her, obviously. Pregnant woman with a stroller and another child in it. You have to wear masks on the bus, and in the middle of the bus, there is an explanation why you have to wear them and that you have to wear them right as mouth and nose protection. Important. The women went to the middle of the bus, the stroller area with 2 seats. The EP told the 13-ish something and they rushed quickly and took the stroller seating spots. The whole bus except for my spot was empty. I told them it was stroller area as I sat nearby and they told me they were there first and to mind my own business. The driver seemed like he had a bad day. He looked tired, just sighed and told them calmly to reseat or leave. They wanted to argue but he shut them down. Shout out to you, Mr. M. Kids under the age of 6 don't have to wear masks. The EP and EK both had their mask on wrong, only covered mouth not nose. Then the EP is starting to just sell at the obviously upset woman to get her kid a ducking mask on. I told her to look at the signs about the rule with the under 6, the poster next to it how to wear masks right and that if even adults don't know how to wear a mask, she can't expect it from a child. She started yelling at me how it's her nose and rules and I have no say in her freedom. The street was empty and the bus driver just stopped in the middle of the street and told them to leave right now or he is calling the police. The EP was about to yell again but the kid dragged her out mumbling not again mom. At the next stop I helped the woman with her stroller when she left and she thanked me for standing up for her. I just told her anytime and went home. Exhausting day. Thank you. Next. Karen infects the town. First, English is not my first language. Actually, I use Reddit to practice my English so I'm sorry if you find grammar errors and I'll thank you every correction that you would do. I live in a little town full of Karens so I can tell you a lot of stories about them, but I want to talk you about the Karen that live in the house next of mine. Her family were her parents, her child, who is a good boy, her older sister who is woman so obese that she can no longer get out of bed and a lot of niece and nephews. Her other siblings left their children with her. She is not a bad woman, but she has a Karen attitude. Example, my family runs a store. And she has an account where she can withdraw things without paying and then she pays everything at the end of the month with money that she receives from the government. Sometimes she can't afford all that she bought and says that she can't work for taking care of all the children, her sister, his parents, etc. Other thing, She took a piece of land behind her house and sold it as if it were her own since the owner never appeared. Then the owner appeared and she used her situation as excuse and that the mayor of our town left her do that. We live in a town of no more of 1,000 people. Then when the pandemic started, the mayor decided that nobody would go to the city for anything. The nearest city is 40 kilometers to north, and of course, nobody could go out since new orders, and everybody should use mask. She was the only who didn't believe that this pandemic was true, so she used to walk in the town with the children or visit friends. As stupid as her, we literally asked her to do not and she just called us idiots and that. Policemen used to take her home with a warning. Now the real shit. She went to the city to buy things. The mayor arranged for the town for 2 trucks that would bring us supplies from the city and we would buy things from them. Although my family has a store, we also supply ourselves from the city, but she wanted her own things and that. Few weeks later his father got sick of COVID-19, her mother, then her sister and all that family. She got sick when she went to the city but she had no symptoms. The government isolated her house and closed the access to the town. Then in the next week made tests to everybody in the town. 12 cases that were her family and friends. Sadly her father passed away days after that. Her mother and sister were in the hospital of the capital city 75 km to south, near of a month, and the neighbors who live near her just stop having contact with, and a lot just don't want to see her again in the town. My family and me are locked up in our house, and of course scared, but I don't want to think on us getting COVID-19, and Reddit is a nice distraction of that. This is just one of the stories that I have. Our town is very little and entitled parents are a lot. But I wanted to tell you about this. Thanks for reading, and again I'm sorry if my English is not good at all. Have a nice day n. Thank you. Next. Entitled To My Child's Diapers. This happened around 5 years ago and it still irks me to this day, so I thought I'd share. When I was pregnant with my first son, my family and friends created this cool scheme without my knowledge to get us so many diapers, all different sizes, so we wouldn't have to buy diapers for our son for a long time. Their plot went so well at my baby shower there was 3 huge stacks of diapers, and it took my husband 2 trips to bring them home. We didn't have to buy diapers for my son till he was 2. It was a very sweet, expensive, and thoughtful gift that saved us so much money. Now into the entitled woman I'm calling Diaper Beggar or DB. So as my husband and I are unloading all of our diapers, and it's taking forever because it's a lot, I noticed a car that slowed down and heard a window roll down. I look over and see a woman in the driver's seat. DB, what are you going to do with all those diapers? Me, use them. I gestured to my pregnant belly. DB, you're not going to use all of those. Let me have some. Me, no, and go away. This was a gift from friends and family at my baby shower. If you need diapers, go to Walmart or a grocery store. DB, say you got them for free and you won't give me any? What does it matter to you? They were free. At that time my husband came outside to get more boxes of diapers and bring them in the house, and he saw the lady, stopped and asked me, "What's going on?" Me, this lady is begging us for diapers and I told her to get lost. I guess she was either insulted or felt outnumbered because she drove off. My husband and I had a bit of a laugh about the diaper beggar. To this day it bothers me that there are people out there that find this behavior acceptable. Thank you. Next. EP's attempts to get rid of a family ends up without cupcakes. So this just happened. Sorry for my English and the formatting. So here I am on a famous U that sells cupcakes and it's near close time. I'm in the line to buy the stuff and in front of me is a family of black people. EM and ED, and right back of me. So the EM and ED starts to offend the black family to the point that they leave without buying anything. When it's my time to get my stuff, I go near the register. Because of COVID we were separated, and overhear EM telling EP that their kid would like the chocolate cupcakes. Me, being a B that just wanted a mini cupcake because I'm on a diet, and to get revenge for the other family that was outside the store. By this time the kids had start crying, buy all the cupcakes that were available. All the 15 normal size and the 30 mini size, and leave. The best part was the face of the E family when I gave the cupcakes that the kids wanted to them. So right now I have 40 cupcakes, and I am proud. Sorry I do not have the dialogue between the EPs and the other family, but I was with earbuds. For your information, I ended up giving the cupcakes to a school near my house. Edit. Spelling. Thank you. Next. Entitled parent calls me a junkie and tries to steal my life-saving medication. Hey guys. Long time lurker. First time poster. Just for reference, this just happened yesterday. I was on the bus heading home from the drugstore after re-upping my prescription. A bit of backstory. I am unfortunate enough to be HIV positive, and because of this, I have to take antiretroviral drugs every day, otherwise the virus will damage my immune system further. Because of what's been going on recently in this country, I've mainly been working from home. As a result, I have really fallen off when it comes to my appearance. On this particular day, I just had on some really baggy sweatpants and a janky ass hoodie, so I guess I could see how from a certain perspective I could look a little homeless. After a couple minutes on the bus, I noticed this little kid staring at me, and I guess my appearance might have frightened him, but as a person of color, I'm used to getting a couple of odd glances, so I just went back to minding my own business. At this point, I started to take my medication while on the bus, mainly because I didn't want to forget later. While this was happening, I got a sharp reminder that people were watching. Cue entitled parent of scared kids screaming at me, "How dare you? Do you people have no shame?" I was shocked that all I could say was what? Entitled parent continues by yelling, "What do you mean what? Who do you think you are? Stop popping pills in front of my kid, in a public place, you filthy junkie." At this point I started getting mad. I held up the bottle and tried to explain that it wasn't what she thought it was. But before I could finish explaining, she tries to snatch the bottle while shrieking about how I am a leech to society and how if I was raised right and had real parents I wouldn't be a disgusting addict. That last one really made me pretty mad because both my parents worked really hard and are both wonderful people, so I kinda lost it. What the fuck would you know about parenting? The day your kid moves out will be the happiest day of his life. By now, she'd completely forgotten about the drugs, and straight up just launched herself at me on some Superman shit and started clawing at my face. So boom, at this point entitled parent and I had the attention of pretty much the entire bus, including the bus driver. Luckily we soon came to a stop and the bus driver helped remove her and her kid from the bus, but not before yelling some questionable stuff on her way out. Thank you. Next. Entitled mom demands I use a non-accessible seat on the bus. Some quick background. I had a tumor on my spine a few years ago. Luckily it was removed and I'm pretty healthy overall now, but not so luckily I can't walk anymore. Into meeting the entitled mom. Last week, I had a doctor's appointment as a follow-up to some issues I'd been having. Normally my parents would take me to the doctor, but they were pretty busy, so I figured I'd take the bus. Luckily my city overall has a very accessible bus system. They also have specific buses meant to assist people with disabilities. But my route from the house to the doctor's office aligned pretty much perfectly with one of the normal bus routes, so I figured I'd just use it. All the normal buses are equipped with wheelchair ramps and a place to secure it. When there isn't a wheelchair user on the bus, there are seats over the area that's used to secure a wheelchair. It can't be anywhere else as it's a safety hazard to have a large metal chair wheeling around haphazardly. So the driver lowers the ramp, and I board the bus. Due to COVID, the bus was pretty empty. During this whole thing I was wearing a mask and I also got tested last week, so don't worry about my contact with the driver. There were a few people in the back, and a woman with her child, who's probably about 6, seated at the front over the wheelchair securement area, which is fine. The area has a notice saying people with disabilities have priority seating, but the general public can use it if nobody else needs to. Normally it would be a simple "Hey, could you please move? I need to secure my wheelchair," but not this time. The conversation isn't exact because my memory isn't perfect, but here's my best recreation of the encounter. I stayed quiet for most of it. Luckily the bus driver was absolutely amazing and stood up for me. Bus driver: "Hey, could you move?" To EM and daughter: "EM, no, my daughter and I are sitting here." Bus driver: "You need to move to another seat so I can secure the passengers." Me: "Wheelchair." EM: "They can sit somewhere else." Bus driver: "No, that's the only area with proper securement." EM: "They can just take the next bus." Bus driver: "No, they have a right to use the bus. You need to move." EM: "No, my daughter and I are staying. You can't make me." Bus driver: "Yes, I can. You can either move seats now or you can leave. Me: "If it's really a bother I can take the next bus." I'm very non-confrontational. I would have been late to the doctor's appointment, but I don't like bothering people. Bus driver, to me, no, you can take this one. MC, the cripple even says she doesn't need it. Bus driver, to EM, you can either move seats, or wait here until police arrive. EM, you can't make my daughter and I move. This is harassment. At this point, the bus driver began to call someone. I'm unsure if it was actual police or what, but the EM ended up moving 2 seats over. Thankfully. And I got secured in the seat. She spent the rest of the time glaring at me, but honestly I don't mind. There are some complete assholes like the EM, but there are also great people like the bus driver. When I was getting off, he apologized for EM's actions, even though obviously they weren't his fault. In the end, I got to the doctor's appointment on time, so all was well. I just hope the woman's daughter learns not to be an asshole somehow.